pretty comfortable. Sorry. Section room that hasn't gotten a lot of love. Right, the very front row over here, the orange black. Go ahead.
Deal with like super people who are like super into Japan. Yeah. June just said, "Isn't that great?" I would say that's generally the reaction in Japan. Like if you go to Japan and you're just excited about everything, Japanese people will love you because they're so excited to have someone who's so excited about their country. I've yet to meet someone in Japan who has not loved a foreigner who was like really enthusiastic about Japan. So.
I will say I kind of got the reverse of it at one point. I was living there right when the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so all of these Japanese people who were all of a sudden super into Captain America and Iron Man and everything were coming up to me going, "Oh, let's talk about comic books. I'm in a cult." I'm like, "Sure." I was tickled by it. I'm like, "You're interested in my culture. Why wouldn't that be awesome?" So, oh my gosh. That was like synchronized swimming. All of you came up at the same time. Right here in the black.
So I had a question about learning Japanese. I've gone through the Genki series of books, and I know you guys talk about the Hello Talk app, and I was wondering if you had any other suggestions for where I can go from here for advancing my Japanese while stuck in America.
Stuck in America. Sorry, I latched onto that verb. Go ahead.
So for example, before you, where did you go, or what did you use to study
YouTube. I watched a lot of movies and dramas and stuff, and that always helped it because I hate studying. Wait. The question is, suggesting something.
But it'll work. It'll work.
Learning another language is something that takes you it's almost impossible to master it. So it's going to be a long journey. So the most important thing is keep doing it without giving up. But in order to do so, sometimes you need a break. And I had a little breaks. So that's the trick. She can maybe tell you some useful things.
So June used to watch a lot of English-speaking YouTubers just for like the listening practice. And these days there are some Japanese YouTubers who speak in Japanese and put English subtitles in their videos. So you can do that a little bit, although you always have to be careful with translations because what they say in one language is not necessarily how it's translated. It's just how they felt it was best represented in the other language. But I would say that's good too. Like what June was saying is do something you enjoy. So find something you enjoy that will immerse yourself in the language. So reading manga, watching anime, as long as you're like listening to the language or reading the language, it'll probably help.
One of my European friends, he can speak 6 languages, I think, and the first language he learned was Japanese. And the reason why was because there are so many video games, Japanese video games he wanted to play, but it was only available in Japanese, so he just kept playing it got better. So I think recently, like a lot of video games, how you can switch languages. Like I just played Final Fantasy 15 with Rachel, and then you can pick many languages, right? I think that would help too.
It really depends on where you're finding people to talk. So if you're at a university where there's like a English majors, then you'll probably find a lot of Japanese people who are studying English and they want to talk to foreigners. So probably most Japanese people who are super excited to talk to foreigners are studying the language, like studying English in some way. So they're probably going to want to speak to you in English. But if you just approach Japanese people on your own, then there's maybe a chance that they're just like random people who've never studied it outside of school, and then they probably really don't know much at all, so they're more likely to speak to you in Japanese. Also, a good way to make friends like that is make friends with another foreigner that might be easier, and then they can introduce you to like their Japanese friends as well. And that way you can find like a group of Japanese people who are only speaking in Japanese.
I will say in Japan there's a lot of ads for language exchange partners, and there's not a lot of exchange. It tends to be a lot of English, and maybe not so much Japanese. So, are you going to be at Nagoya University? Nagoya, you'll be fine. They actually, because they're a Global 30 school. Has anyone ever heard of Global 30? Like with me? Okay, awesome. They had to meet like really strict standards, so they won't allow that to happen. If there is a language circle, they usually call them at the universities, it'll be half and half. So. Oh my gosh.
All right.
So the question was, what's June's favorite thing to cook, and what is Rachel's favorite thing that June cooks? We're going to find a question where June goes, oh, I know. He's a very deliberative person.
I really enjoy cooking meal for my cat. Is that okay? Does that count?
Sorry, that was the most adorable thing you said. If you didn't hear that in the microphone, I really enjoy cooking for my cat. That's awesome. So, Rachel?
For the orange one and for three, we have 3 kitties and for all of them. Because for meal for human, like we have so many spices and so many ways to cook, right? But even if I like it, sometimes she doesn't like it. So it's really difficult, and it takes time. But I often spend so much time, and if you didn't like it, it's so disappointing. Cats, first of all, you should not put much spice. They shouldn't have too much spice or salt. It doesn't need to be salty, it doesn't need to be sweet, just the plain fish, for example. You don't have to do anything with it, really. And they love it, so I love it.
My favorite June meal is lemon chicken. So he makes, when we were in Taiwan, we had lemon chicken just at a random stall out in the middle of the nowhere on the beach somewhere, and it was delicious. And June said he could make it himself, so he makes that for me sometimes, and it's amazing. 10.
In the white jacket, blonde wig. Back.
Okay, so I just wanted to know, and this is a question for both of you guys, what's the biggest cultural shock you've had from like America and Japan?
The biggest cultural shock that you've had.
The toilet. Both the traditional Japanese style toilet that is not kind to us non-acrobatic type people, and the amazing robo toilet. The washlet. There was actually a woman, they profiled her on Japanese TV. There was a Ukrainian woman who had studied abroad in Japan in college, and then she got really wealthy when she moved back to the Ukraine, and she bought what they're called washlets. Right? She bought washlets for her entire town because she missed the Japanese robo toilet so much. I'd have to say that was mine.
Can you tell me one more so I can think?
Rachel, how about you say what?
Okay, the biggest cultural shock in Japan. Again, it's really going to be whatever I can think of at the moment. Like it always changes. Big cultural shock.
Oh, I do have one more actually. So it was reverse culture shock. Is when I came back. Oh my God. That happened for everybody else. That's not a stroke. Just checking. So. When I came back, I was nowhere near as attractive as I thought I was in Japan. Because you're different. Everybody wants to talk to you. I go here, just like, oh, everyone should want to talk. No.
Maybe I would say the differences between our houses and apartments. So a lot of these days, like newer Japanese homes are much more similar to American houses in terms of like the appliances and what they offer. But most houses and apartments that people have don't have central heating. There's little to no insulation, so whatever is going on outside, you can hear it just as much as if there were no walls or windows at all. Even now, like a lot of windows are single pane glass, so like poor insulation, both like with heat and cold and sound. Old houses don't have dishwashers or dryers. Newer houses these days will sometimes have a built-in dishwasher, like a small one, but especially if you're like renting a house that's new, then you can get that. A lot of newer houses can be built with the central heating and cooling. Still not so much for dryers, I don't think, but I think most houses in Japan are still built around the concept of like having a wife at home who can have the time to do all of the dishes and the laundry without, we're much more like, we want to get everything done right away, really quickly. We don't have time to like sit around and wash every dish. So maybe that.
Right now I can think of two. One is related to laundry machine. We handle laundry outside and use sunlight and heat to dry our laundry. And it makes the laundry really dry and smells like good. But here, on Rachel's grandparents' house, he has dryer machine, just dryer machine. The laundry machine we have has drying function, but it doesn't really get rid of the smell. So once you use it again, it smells really, really bad. But here, the dryer, it's really great. It's really surprising.
Our laundry sheets smell it makes our laundry smell very nice. June was very surprised when he got laundry out of the dryer.
Yeah, it smells bad. The other thing was the number of libraries in America is more than the number of McDonald's, and I was really surprised.
In the stripes right here.
I was just going to say that you guys are getting close to 1 million subscribers. So how do you guys feel about that? You guys are at 20,000.
I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. I don't even know why or how.
Over here in the black jacket, yes.
What's your opinion on Japanese food in America and American food in Japan?
I have a very strong opinion on American food in Japan.
So do I. So go ahead, you first.
Okay, you don't want to talk about what Japanese food in America? Okay, Japanese or American food in Japan is awful. All food, and I'm sure it's the same in America, like when you bring foreign food into a country, you change it a bit to suit the tastes of the country that you're in. So American food in Japan has been changed to suit Japanese palates. Our food in America is very salty, very buttery, not super healthy, but they changed that, and so it's very different in Japan. Like every burger I've had in Japan, none of them have really tasted meaty. They put more filler into it, more, I guess, wheat and egg, I think. So it doesn't taste as meaty as the burgers here. Like I still have yet to have like a really satisfying burger in Japan.
My
To like married, so it was just kind of a full conversation.
Yeah, I just can't get her for this
will you marry me? Check this box. Okay, so we're just about out of time, but I want everybody to stay exactly where you are because we need a picture of you.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So yeah, when we post on the professional social media, it'll be, oh, look at Rachel and JP. On my personal Facebook, it'll be like, how many people came to see me? So, excellent. So we're going to selfie.
Selfie.
You guys.